SoCal approach, good evening, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 3000, climbing 6,500, 5 miles to the south of Riverside. Flight following to Avalon, please.
For 204 Lima Echo, SoCal approach. Was a good evening. Squawk 4211 ident.
4211, and we'll give you a flash. Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
Like Jekyll and Hyde, he was so friendly just a few minutes ago.
Okay, so in order to ident here, I gotta go to the browser and then click ident. See if that works. Lighting looks so pretty.
Number 204 Lima Echo, radar contact to southeast of the Paradise View, where the Ontario altimeter is 29902.
29902, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
Hi again, Bill.
Hello again, Goldsy. Yeah, freaking Corona Lake, dude. That is such annoying crap. What data are they pulling that from? Oh, and I love the blinding light. That's so cool. Okay. So the code comes from the plane, but it can't ident. Yeah, it's very weird. The also turning it on comes from the client as well. So you have to have mode C on in the browser window in order to have it be on. So it's very clunky. Yeah. So to ident.
Number 185 Juliet Bravo connects to Cal approach 119.6.
So to ident, I go to the browser, pulls up the client, and I just click ident, and that's how you do it. Weird. I don't know if it's how much of it is let's get it to work, or how much of it is this is just the way the sim is going to be set up and there's no other choice. Like this is the best way to do it, or if it's the best way to do it right now, subject to change. So we'll see.
We have whiskey for Palomar 5 Jelly Bravo. Roger.
I am in window mode. I stream in window mode for a couple of reasons, so it's not terrible from that perspective for me, but yeah, it's a little, it's not ideal, honestly. Adrian BM27, thank you for following. Welcome. Happy friggin' Wednesday. I love you guys. This is so fun. So how do we feel about ForeFlight being up? Do we need it? Are we happy to not have it up for now? Adrian, thank you very much for the bits. We are on PilotEdge, so I am going to venture a guess that anything starting with an M is going to be unflyable for us. So let's get ForeFlight coming off here for now, and we'll enjoy what is hoping to be stronger scenery once we get closer to the coast. Is it easy to pull up whenever? I don't think it always needs to be up. It's hard to see anything. Oh, is it easy to pull up whenever? Yeah, it's the click of a button. So it's yeah, it's very easy. But sometimes it's nice. I mean, depending on what the flight is, sometimes it's nice there, because if someone just kind of pops in, you know, I mean, we could be anywhere doing anything. But ForeFlight gives it kind of immediate context. God, that looks so dumb. How's Prado Dam look? The dam looks pretty good. It is hard to see anything in it anyways. Yeah, and if you're on mobile, then you're really screwed. Brian, so that is not actually a lake there. It's a flood basin. It does flood, so it's like it does fill up with water. I don't know if I've ever seen it get that full before, but it is always dry for the most part. So I don't know really what it's going, where it's getting that information from. So I don't know. Joe, I do. The real pilot in quotations is there for sarcastic reasons, but also because, yes, I do. Yeah, the new 60-inch iPhone, it would look pretty good.
204 Lima Echo connects to Cal approach 128.1.
28.1, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
I'm fly. I'm pilot.
I'm pilot. This is my hood as well. SoCal, Orange County. SoCal approach, good evening, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, 6,400 climbing 6,500.
204 Lima Echo, SoCal approach, John Wayne altimeter, 2992.
2992, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, and for your planning purposes, we're going to be going kind of towards Point Furman to make the trip over to Catalina.
4 Lima Echo, Roger. 25 Juliet Bravo.
Okay, we're going to get that. I use
Connect Palomar Tower 118.6.
a
Radar service terminated.
David Clark's.
On
I'm blanking on the name of them. They're the H13s or something like that. They're I love them. I mean, they're not A20s, but I love those headsets. Max, I'll tell you one thing. It makes planning H1013s. Yep, that's it. It makes planning a stream flight very easy because I only have to think of one airport. Where am I going to fly to? I don't have to figure out where I'm going to fly from. What's your opinion, Max? What's your honest opinion as one of the best content creators we all know? Does that hurt me, or is it a niche that ends up being kind of okay? The fact that I only fly out of one airport. What's your honest opinion? Mix it up a little bit maybe every once in a while, or no, man, keep it going.
Direct clip or walk.
Keep going to the well.
Just confirm it'll be a left turn direct clipper. Left turn direct clip. Left turn direct clipper walk.
It is pretty hard to argue against it, and that's the thing it's such a pretty place to fly, and the fact that it's really a hub on PilotEdge that makes it really easy, or I should say really hard to want to deviate from it too much. You know, it helps me in my real world flying to continually practice out of the airport and just, you know, stick to what I do, but it is really pretty. Well, thank you, Max. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel too, is if you stream what you want to, what you're excited to do, it makes it more enjoyable for everybody else. We need it really bad. It's one of the worst offenders of scenery for sure. But the surrounding area,
SoCal approach, that's the 1 Sierra Charlie 6.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, this just feels like SoCal on a summer evening with that glare. That is very, very pretty.
SoCal approach, that's the 102 on Mike.
If you're learning to fly, SoCal is a challenging area to do it in. It has PilotEdge made it. I don't want to say easy, but PilotEdge made it pretty easy. I did my, that's a little, my, oh, that's why. I was wondering why the lighting was looking weird. I did my solo cross-country flight from John Wayne through the LA Bravo to Camarillo with 12 hours total time. And that is 100% because of PilotEdge. It is very tricky if you're learning, but that made it incredibly easy. See, this is awesome. This is what I didn't get in X-Plane, is being able to identify actual buildings that, you know, I recognize.
Yeah, we have information.
There's Orange Hill. It's a little bit low fidelity on that, but that's awesome. There's the in and out right there. That's the in and out that is closest to us, right underneath the wheel pans by that.
We'll take vectors. That way we get to talk to you more.
Sierra Charlie, Roger. Flight present heading. Vector for the approach. Descend and maintain 5,000.
Present heading. Descend and maintain 5,000.
Are you planning on flying airlines or corporate? Corporate, Ryan, is the plan. That's the goal. Is commercial multi. And then hit up the light jets. Yeah, there's something about the water levels that are off. Okay, so I wasn't actually thinking about the drones, but they're still flying around and being depicted. They're actually easier to spot too in this than they were in X-Plane. So that is pretty rad. We're almost right over Angel Stadium. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. Dig that right there.
One, good evening, spare wings 255.8 via the Bulge.
That's pretty cool.
Spare wings 250, Las Vegas departure, radar contact. Climb maintain, flight level 190.
Awesome, Ryan. That's super cool.
190, unrestricted.
Dan D, 1302, welcome aboard. Thank you for following. Happy Wednesday. Are you getting pretty good with that drone camera? I've got it hooked up to a controller, so it's a lot more natural now, and I do kind of like it. Thoughts on career model using third-party apps like On Air Airline Manager? What do you mean by that? Career model? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Sled. Fast Fly, so I missed what you said earlier, but yeah, indeed, if the solo cross country took 12 hours, that would have been a little bit rough. Oh, career mode? I don't know, man. I don't have any problem. I've never had a problem with needing flights, but for people that are just getting into flight simulation, it can be kind of hard to know what's out there to try to replicate. I stick to the flights that I do in the real world, so that's my motivation for doing any particular flight. But that's not going to be the case for somebody that's just downloading this for the first time and you know, doesn't have a real world flying experience to want to replicate. And also, by the way, that's Miles Square Park, very noticeable. I also fly out of one airport all the time, but I, for whatever reason, enjoy replicating the real world stuff versus doing things that I couldn't do real world. And I don't know if a lot of people are like that in general, but that's what I enjoy doing. So I have a limited number of experiences to try to replicate.
November 623 Delta Mike is...
But like a career mode, like I don't know what career mode you would, what you would do.
080.
you know, flight sim economy is one way of doing that. But yeah, I don't know like the implementation of that, how that would actually work. What's up, Dave? Happy Wednesday. You can set up an airline on its third app integrated. Yeah, so that's just like flight sim economy for the most part. But you know, I become broke as hell. Repay. Yeah, be a CFI for 2 years. You guys will get really bored of that.
Las Vegas departure radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 190.
So if you're talking about airline replication, I mean, I'd just do that. You know, I'd just pick some random flights, go to Flight Sim Economy, pick some random flights, go on Flight Radar, pick a random plane that's flying around over your house or something, and just do that flight, you know. Skid Wilson, thank you for following. Welcome. Like that could be pretty fun.
Left turn direct clipper.
What is? Oh, Killer Pyre. What the hell was that? What did I say? Killer Pyre. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for following. Welcome. Welcome. There's Long Beach Harbor. Right now we're coming over Seal Beach. And this all looks great from this altitude. This looks fantastic. We're at 6,500 feet. That looks beautiful. Right, that looks great. I'm happy with that. Mackie Contel. Hopefully I did that right. Welcome. Yeah, that looks really
No idea why that's staticky. Spare wings 250 LA center, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Alright, we're gonna make our move right now and have a little bit of a wet footprint here. Walker 175, what's up, man?
Bravo descend by the
welcome.
One arrival.
PilotEdge brings a lot of life into this. It brings a ton of life. It makes all the difference, honestly. Well, welcome, Killer. Happy Wednesday. A YouTube video came across my news feed about on-air. I figured, in a way, it's like creating campaign mode. Yeah, and that's more or less what Flight Sim Economy is. It gives you jobs to do to earn money, whether it's passengers or cargo. And it is a good way to fly to different airports that you normally wouldn't go to based on what you have the ability to fly, fuel loadouts, all that kind of stuff. So that is more or less a career mode, I think, and it's pretty fun. Security guard number 7, welcome. Thank you for following. This is the unbelievably beautiful airport in the sky, Catalina, and I am bracing for this airport to be totally, completely butchered. It almost has to be. Dragon 40th, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining live. Glad you found it. What's up, man? How do you deal with incorrect taxiways when flying on PilotEdge? Just fly out of airports you know really well? Well, you can use ForeFlight or other services to get an idea of what the taxiways actually look like, but it's going to be some growing pains. You're gonna have to, you know, if you're flying out of Long Beach, there are airports there that don't exist, or runways there that don't exist anymore. So you're just gonna have to have the real world stuff available and adapt, basically. Iowa, how's it going? Did you bring your wine spritzers? Let's take a break here from PilotEdge and get switched over here. SoCal approach, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. We have Catalina Insight.
4 Lima Echo.
So 22.7.
3 Golf Juliet. It's going to be a non-passing grade for the I-1. You should have been assigned to 220 heading, and looks like you're turning northbound on your own there now.
God, this goes so freaking slow.
Destination ASOS is 120.675.
All right, this is I'm going to show you something here on ForeFlight as I get this frequency dialed in eventually. This is the reason why I went far north to make this crossing, and it is called a wet footprint. So there's the glide ring, and when the glide ring is touching nothing but water, that is our wet footprint. And at this altitude and crossing where we did, it cuts down the wet footprint to only a couple of minutes. So it's going to, we're still going to get wet, but it's a very busy shipping lane, boat lane, and we're going to hang on to SoCal as long as we can, and then get switched over. But by the time we get kind of passed off, we should be glide distance from the island itself. I recently did the I-7 rating into Avalon on PilotEdge. That's awesome. It's so fun, man. It is such a fun airport to fly into. The runway itself really isn't that tricky, but just everything around it has a lot of risk to it. It's yeah, it depends on what plane you're in. There can be downdrafts on short final, but overall, it's not a particularly difficult airport or difficult runway. It's not the most difficult runway in SoCal. Mr. MC 101, welcome aboard. Thank you for following. Happy Wednesday.
Spare wing 1652, connect LA Center 133.2.
So right now, we still have a little bit touching here. We're still touching on San Pedro there. I actually have a 1060 6 gig B West. It's very, very modest. Thank you for following as well.
26, we'll see you, Twin Mike.
Number 8 Golf Juliet, turn right heading 040. Did you copy the non-passing grade?
Let's see, using a controller for the drone, a little bit of config. Yeah, the controller works a lot better.
Are you continuing to Catalina, or do you want to handle?
We'll take the CTAF right now. We've got the airport in sight. Cessna 204 Lima Echo.
Squawk VFR, frequency change approved. Good night.
Squawk and VFR, frequency change is approved. Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. See you later.
Skyhawk 8 Golf Juliet, how do you hear me?
Okay. So now we're on with Catalina. We'll get the autopilot coming off as well. So now we're almost to wet footprint right now, and we're still pretty close. So it's going to be like a minute of wet footprint, which is totally fine. This is making me want to buy ForeFlight subscription. It's really nice. Yeah. Catalina traffic, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, 10 miles to the northeast, inbound, overhead brake, runway 22, Catalina. Actually, don't need the overhead brake in this plane, but it is, it's way more fun. Of course, straight-in approaches are highly discouraged here. So an overhead brake is you fly directly over the runway, and then it's a hard turn left or right, whatever, into a downwind kind of circling approach. It's a military-style arrival. The airport manager at Catalina really likes it, and when it's not that busy and you're in a high-performance plane, it's a good way to get slowed down. But yeah, and who cares? We're in a 172, but it's also Microsoft Flight Sim, and there was a gigantic lake in the middle of Corona. Why not? That looks so good. Oh my god. Holy crap. ForeFlight seems a lot easier than Garmin Pilot. I've used Garmin Pilot a little bit, and I think ForeFlight is significantly better. Not to say that Garmin Pilot isn't good or is bad, but it's ForeFlight I think is just much better. When I grow, I will be an army and save. Okay, that's weird, but cool. Is that different than entering on a midfield crosswind? Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea. All right, back on track. Nobody's destroying anybody, okay? I forgot what the altitude is here. 1600. Okay, so 2600. We'll be at 2600. We'll make. Oh, let's do a 2100. We'll do a 500 foot break. Those traffic levels just exploded. Did it get really busy all of a sudden? Have a good night, Goldsy. Love you. No, I fly with a HOTAS, and it's really easy to move out of the way. I've used it for 2.5 years now, and it's great. No, that was Lake Corona, which isn't the name of, I mean, it's just a made-up name for it. But yeah, that was not Lake Elsinore. That was just flooded, weird data. I don't know. X-Plane did the same thing. Not quite as bad as that was, but yeah, that was definitely weird. You got the SciTech. Yeah, that's a pretty good setup. Yeah. Catalina traffic, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, 5 miles to the west, overhead brake runway 22, Catalina. If there's a number of different ways that you can land at Catalina. One of them is, you know, if it's really busy, you can hold over the VOR. You could cross over, enter downwinds, all that kind of stuff. But when it's not that busy, this is a cool way to do it. Yeah, traffic is way more noticeable in this, which I really like. We got some Nordo traffic coming right at my face, which is not super cool.
Pull up. Pull up.
Okay, lights are all still on. Rybob42, welcome aboard. Thank you for following. So one of the, a few of the things that make this airport particularly hazardous, we talked about getting here, so that's one of the main things. The other one is this final approach here. You obviously can't make any mistakes short. There are also some downdrafts on short final as well, so you don't want to come in too low. The other thing is weather, of course. And the third one is kind of a hidden one, but the runway actually crests, and it makes it look like it's a lot shorter than it is, which causes a lot of people to panic brake, thinking that they're running out of runway when they're really not.
Short final runway
so that can, you know, flat spot your tire and leave you stranded at Catalina, which is not fun. Oh yeah, this is kind of lame. Catalina traffic, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo is in the break, runway 22. Think I'm a little bit high? Might be a little bit on the high side there. Alright, I'm gonna get ForeFlight out of the way so we can enjoy Catalina in a break at sunset. I have no idea how this plane is going to handle any of this, and I also can't see the airport.
Pull up. Pull up.
We might need to pull up here. Mad Rider, thank you very much for following. Welcome. Let's get a peek. Where's our runway at? Okay. Start bringing in the flaps. Have I? No, I fly 172 in real life. But this is not a 172 in real life. It may look like one, but it is very much a loose interpretation of what a 172 is. Brave Monk, thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard.
500.
Oh yeah, see that was like way fast.
Pull up. Pull up.
We're just gonna dump it all in. The good thing about being in a 172 and not something that needs a lot of runway, holy crap, is you could air high and still make it down, which is absolutely what I'd do in the real world. Come in high and then drop it in and take out that sketchy approach from the equation. We don't need that at all. Okay, so we are down, and how does Catalina look? God, what is their deal with these freaking runway lights, man?
Approaching runway 04.
That is really dumb. Limbless Dwarf? How'd I do on that? Welcome aboard, thank you. Until we get a realistic handling plane or some physics updates to this, airmanship will not be considered. I will slam this thing in with no regard for anyone's safety, happily. All right, so this is pretty depressing in terms of scenery. That looks like nothing. That'll be a good payware update though. No, latest patch did nothing to improve flight model. No, not like it's still the same. Boston Pilot, welcome aboard. Thank you very much. Yeah, the views off the cliff are really nice. I'm gonna cheat here a little bit. Let's give ourselves a tiny bit more daylight. I have that set to real world time, and the sun is going down. It would be a beautiful evening on Catalina right now. So there's an audio cue in the stream, exclamation point holy S, and that was taken going off of this airport for the first time.
Approaching runway 04.
In a Bonanza. It was actually the first time I'd been out here, and first time flying with my now instructor Brad. And it is an unbelievable departure. So I'm going to show just a tiny bit of that departure, I think, and then compare to see what it looks like. For the default aircraft, this is probably as good as it will get. Yeah, well, that and the Robin is pretty good too. That one I think was the only plane they actually flew. One of the main devs has an Icon A5 as well, which is why that plane was in it, but I don't know And that's just weird plane in general, so who knows how close that is. No, I have not tried the Carenata 182. I have it for X-Plane, and it's terrible in X-Plane, so I did not want to spend any money on it in this thing. Whoa. Pull up. Catalina departure. Okay, here we go. So here is the Catalina departure. Probably have to sit through an ad here really quick.
There you go.
Ready to go.
Oh,
All right.
no, never mind.
So again, we'll go the low altitude tour around the far end, right? So this is one of the few airports where you can take off with this thing. So that's what we'll do.
The flight dynamics on it are terrible. Like there's no stall. It's just really,
will be a straight out with a left
really
turn
lame.
out of the coast.
Hawks, what's up, dude?
All right, lights are coming on.
What do you think we're doing, Hawks?
And we'll do a.
We flew out to
soft
Catalina on
takeoff, so you
PilotEdge,
can
man.
See what it looks like in this airplane.
Cool,
We're doing it.
Because I know you're working on that. So
It's
remember
a
we
bizarre
talked
thing.
about the momentary select switch?
Right. Oh yeah.
So there's that.
So you're on 10.
Yeah, about 15-ish degrees.
Okay.
I have at this
Outside.
point
Yep. Looks good.
Here's full back. Nice and easy.
15 hours maybe,
And this is full back.
or maybe less. No, I have less.
Okay.
I've got
And we're just letting that power come in.
10 hours or something.
Nose is getting light.
It's pretty good, Hawks.
Nose
No, this is the
airborne
old
now.
runway.
Oh, there it is. So nose is off the ground. I'm just letting it accelerate with the nose off the ground. Letting it fly. All right, it's flying.
Oh yeah, it does look like that
See,
airport.
it looks like you're running out,
Yeah,
right?
it does
But
look
you're
like
not.
that. Wow.
So we're out of runway. You're swinging. Lights off.
Holy S, dude.
Cold short, T2, you guys ready to go?
Flaps are coming up.
Okay, fix your bow, turn short right base, T2 full stop, Catalina.
What?
Pretty cool, right?
What in the world was that?
So we've just taken off. We are still at airport elevation, mind you. And we're about 500 AGL now.
Well, that's as close as you're going to get to a carrier cat shot.
Pretty much.
And then this is what you get on the backside of
The only
Catalina.
bummer of flying this is that you can't take pictures. Right.
We'll be crossing midfield for right traffic,
Looks
T2
awesome.
full stop.
Because look at that. Oh my god, dude.
Traffic not available.
So the favorite instructor question, you have an engine failure.
Traffic not available. Super epic. Yeah, it is an unbelievably epic departure out of there. Catalina traffic, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, departing runway 22, Catalina.
Approaching runway 22.
I'd love to see the numbers from PilotEdge and how many people are flying with the new sim now. You could get a pretty good idea of it, Hawks, on their website, honestly. Okay, so yeah, it's just like the lighting and everything is super, super goofy. No, it is, if you type in !YouTube, that will, that'll at least get you to the channel. I don't have that actual link handy. I can link it in a little bit. And we're up. You'll also find a lot more videos. Here it is. Whoa. Holy S, dude. God, that looks awesome. And by the way, thank you guys all for watching. Thank you those that came in from Max's stream that are hanging around. Appreciate it a lot. If you're new to aviation or flight simulators and are starting to feel like you might be super into it, a really great way to maintain interest and learn is through a Discord channel. Mine is what I think is a very good combination of real-world flying and sim flying. A lot of the real-world techniques and knowledge will translate into the simulator, especially as the sim continues to grow and get more detailed. More real-world information will help flying in the sim as well. So if you would like to learn more or just kind of enter in a community of aviation enthusiasts, both real-world and flight simulator, I would love for you to join. Wrong Way Fellman, Tony, Jacob Arford, and Z Voila 69. Thank you guys very much for joining the Discord. And Charles F. Charles F. just right at the buzzer there as I was about to click off the tab. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Is there much helicopter traffic into Catalina? I have honestly not seen much helicopter traffic there. Actually, they are there, but not a whole lot of them. This is not super high res, man. That glare is a little bit annoying. Let's make it a little bit earlier in the day. Yeah, that's not great. I think a good ortho would look better. So yeah, that's not super impressive. Which is fine. Nothing against that. Loved your stuff on Burbank. Oh, awesome, Hawks. Yeah, dude. Yeah, well, that was thanks to you, so I appreciate it. It's a cool airport. Yeah, I love that airport a lot. That was one of my favorite real-world videos, was the flight into Burbank. IFR flight into Burbank was really cool. When the autogen trees don't come in, it looks worse than X-Plane. Yeah, it really does. It really does. Yeah, we noticed a spot like that too going through Lake Irvine. X-Plane looked better, but it's still really early and it's hard to criticize it too much. Well, Hurricane, we actually just did it earlier. That's where we started. We started going into Flaybob. Yeah. Orbix is really great. Yeah. They're expensive, but they do some nice stuff, without a doubt. None of these disappointments you are sharing have anything to do with graphic settings, right? Correct, Beerman. I'm at between medium and high. It's a custom setting, and it's really lowered primarily because I'm on old GPU and streaming on the same PC, so it's a little bit lower. So that's why. Toxic Hazmaz, thank you very much for following. Google Map graphics are yeah, well, this is Bing. That's where they're pulling this data from. So it is actually, I mean, I used Bing data for my orthos, but all right, Catalina's got some Catalina traffic. Can you put up scenery settings? Oh, you can put up scenery settings. It's the shaders. Yeah, and I don't remember, Bob, what I had it set up as. Shaders are down. I think I lowered bushes just because like bushes are at medium, trees and all that other crap is at high. So I've got it boosted up pretty good, but I'm just trying to play it a little bit conservative because it's streaming. So you know. No, that was not Keith. I think the last thing he wants to do is jump on the network right now. Yeah, let's see how many Icon A5s there are in the sim right now. Yeah, it's a fair amount of people logged in on Microsoft, but not a whole lot. I think you'd be surprised. And this plane is way too effing slow to do the entire lap around Catalina. Took like 10 minutes or something in the Bonanza. Doing 160. We are not doing 160. But let's see what Avalon looks like. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty weak. We were at 6,500 on the way out here, which helped with our wet profile, our wet footprint. It's going to be harder to climb up to that when you're out here. Okay, that's auto-genned. Yeah, so we do not have a high-res GPS data out here, which is too bad. Very sad. But what I was going to say is you need to have some time to climb. When's my next X-Plane stream? Brick Rhymes, that's a great question. I do need to get one in. I'm planning an IFR flight within the next couple of weeks once this heat wave is out of the way. So yeah, I will probably need to do that sooner than later. I don't know, OC, it looks crazy. It just has, there's these like low res, we'll just call them tiles for lack of a better word, but there are these low res tiles that don't have the GPS data that they can build any 3D objects with, so they just put auto-genned little buildings in there and it looks really bad. Rigorian, happy Wednesday. Don't be fooled. No, we have a lot of really nice people hanging out with us tonight, and I am very grateful that you guys are watching. So this is kind of a cheater way, and maybe not in a 172. I mean, I would not do this in a 172 in real life, but if you can see where we're at. We're coming up to the airport, and we're going to cross underneath the approach end of the runway. And then once we finish at the approach end, then we're going to climb up. So we're going to be underneath pattern altitude. But right, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just grateful that so many of you are enjoying watching. Catalina traffic, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, 500 feet. We're going to cross underneath the approach end of the runway and start a climb up to Twin Harbors, Catalina. SVM Fisher, thank you, and Skidwheel, thank you guys for joining the Discord. That is super cool that that Discord server is growing as much as it has been, and I am very humbled at that as well. I gotta say though, it is pretty awesome that we've been in the triple digits quite a bit over the last week or so. It's obviously thanks to the added interest in the sim, but nevertheless, I appreciate all you guys choosing to hang out with me to get your fix of this thing. Alright, so we are past the center line of the runway. You can, I mean, I've actually seen planes landing from underneath. It looks freaking crazy. I mean, that's That's the approach end of the runway right there. It's pretty wild. Climb as best as we can. Let's see. You have terrain vector data on high or ultra, right? Yeah, it's on high. Yep. Yeah, not on ultra. I probably could bring it up to ultra, but yeah, it's on high.
Catalina traffic can go 150 subx, clear out of our runways, Catalina.
So I'm going to use this time to climb as high as I can. What I call it, twin harbors. I'm pretty sure it's 2 harbors. Right? 2 harbors? I don't know. I had one of my worst experiences ever camping on Catalina in college. Oh my god, that was a freaking nightmare. This little 172 does not like to climb. Let's see, can I maintain like a VX? It's kind of hard. Yeah, so like in a Bonanza, you know, we'd be hauling ass at this point. Yeah, Matt, it's pretty windy, and that's where it depends on what kind of plane you're taking in. A 172, you can keep it a little bit higher and get out of the way of some of that downdrafts on final, but anything that needs to be mindful of runway length, anything a little bit bigger, yeah, it can get a little hairy. But just like the weather, the clouds that hang around, the winds wrapping around the canyons and the mountains nearby, those are really what create the hazards. The actual runway itself, Fallbrook, if you want the trickiest airport in SoCal, or trickiest runway, trickiest airports are still Catalina and Big Bear in terms of overall risk or dangers, but Fallbrook is the trickiest runway for sure, and it both sims just butcher it. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna be heading back to Point Furman here, so if you're logged on, for sure. Yeah, there is Twin Harbors, 2 harbors. Can't really remember what the hell, but yeah, that's where there's a little campsite that you can actually see right there. It's that kind of more little clearing area, and oh my god, it was so dusty and just completely filled with ants. It was the worst. So on ForeFlight here, you can see that I'm using the length of Catalina to climb. So I'm already at 4,000 feet, which is great. And then that also shortens the distance. So as soon as I hit, you know, I can keep climbing up to 5,500. But right there, that's not a bad distance. You know, that's probably the shortest point to point, which is what we want. We want to be over water for as little time as possible, and that is about 19 miles, and we're a little bit, you know, it's even less than 19 miles to get over there, and still climbing. Like, we're at 4,500
United
feet.
318, contact center 134.65. Good night.
It's about 7 miles. SoCal approach, good evening, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo 4,500 climbing 5,000. We're 8 miles to the northwest of the Avalon VOR, request flight following. I don't know where yet though.
Sky 204 Lima Echo SoCal approach, squawk 2540, IDEN, altimeter 2997.
254 Lima Echo. That is air server that connects the iPad to the PC, and then it's a screen capture
United 318
from
Los Angeles,
OBS.
descend via the Jackie 2
From
arrival.
there.
Ontario, altimeter 2993. Sky 4 Lima Echo, radar contact, where you headed back to John Wayne?
Pull up.
We're going to be heading to Long Beach right now. That might change, but you can put us down for Long Beach at the moment for Lima Echo.
Sky 4 Lima Echo, do as you wish.
Bradbury 234, thank you very much for following. Welcome. The campground at Two Harbors sucks. Julia, we have a corroborated account of the campgrounds at Two Harbors and Catalina sucking. OC Adventures backs me up. That is a hellscape on Earth. Only suitable for ants and masochists. Masochists. And nobody in their right mind should ever, under any circumstances, subject themselves, friends, families, or loved ones to such unmitigated horrors that await you at the Two Harbors campgrounds.
Bonanza 130 Foxtrot, flight at 2's contact.
Especially if you have no camping gear to save yourself from those horrors.
130 Foxtrot, flight at 2.
It's kind of a boat-only spot. Yeah, I can see that. There was some cool boats. My friend and I swam out from shore to that bird-infested island, which was really dumb. We got picked up by fishermen. It's crazy. Thank you, Maria. Very, very pretty surroundings. Okay, so I had him put in Catalina as our destination, and I'm not sure that is where we want to go.
Skyhawk 130.
George
Selhaber? Juliet at Henderson.
George Selhaber. Thank you very much for following. Welcome aboard.
29993. 93, 130 Foxtrot, flight at 2.
Beautiful, beautiful Catalina.
Contact SoCal approach 134.2.
34.2 Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
Number 4 Lima Echo, that was not for you. You could stay on this frequency still.
Sorry about that. Thanks. Yep, still with the old college ball and chain. We've had a good run. We've been together for about 15 years, so we're almost done.
We're just heading over to
Tarun, this is PilotEdge.
Bonanza 24 Alpha Sierra, SoCal approach.
Okay, we can make it to Catalina right now.
Are you looking for the practice approach, or are you just navigating?
So we do not have a wet footprint yet.
Understood. Thank you, sir. United 318, contact center 126.
Yeah, we can make that.
0.35.
And I will tell you when we have hit the San Pedro here. It's actually going to be coming up pretty quick. We might not have any wet footprint here. Yes, we all love Julia. She is lovely. She is a very proper lady.
Cessna Skyhawk 204.
Los Angeles, Ontario altimeter.
That's Julia on PilotEdge for the first time. I just ran out of gas in the Nevada desert in the Cub.
Sky 204 Lima Echo, contact SoCal approach 128.1.
28.1 Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo, and that's what we show right now.
Yo, all traffic in the area, please advise.
Please advise. That was at least staged, but yeah. Okay, so we're wet right now, and landfall. So we would just glide there. So that was a wet footprint of about 60 seconds. That is not bad at all. Yep. I didn't realize until it was too late that the fuel load is persistent throughout all the flights, I guess. So Tarun, the glide ratio is the amount of height per gliding distance horizontally. And this is the 172 has a glide ratio of 9:1. So this is showing that for every 1,000 feet you go up, you can glide. Is that right? Yeah, you can glide 9,000. So what ForeFlight does is it takes that data along with the elevation data, and it will deform based on the elevation that you're coming up to. So Rancho Palos Verdes, PV over here, starts to rise up, and you can see that once we hit that elevation there, that little line stops, and because we can't go further because we're going to run into that terrain. The terrain is rising. So as we get closer and start to crest that, it'll go back to, you know, a near perfect circle. But over the water, it's a perfect circle because it's
I'm sorry, did I miss your check?
flat. Yeah, SoCal approach, Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. We were on 28.1.
Pull up.
Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo. I missed your check-in. Just verify your altimeter. Sorry, your altitude.
We're at 5,500. Skyhawk 204 Lima Echo.
Skyhawk 4 Lima Echo. Thanks. John Wayne altimeter 29902.
29902. Thank you very much. Supersonic, thank you for the follow. And A Jonesy, thank you for the host. Welcome.
Just about 4 o'clock a mile northeastbound, 5,600 via ForeFlight 10.
4 o'clock. You said that was at 4 o'clock for Lima Echo?
Skyhawk 4 Lima Echo. Yep. Now about 3 o'clock in a mile.
All right, negative contact. We'll be looking out for that traffic. Skyhawk 4 Lima Echo.
All right, Skyhawk 4 Lima Echo. Yeah, he's about a mile off your wing. Same direction, same altitude, 5,600.
Oh yeah, roger that. We'll be looking out for that traffic for Lima Echo. Okay. What airports have we not been to? Let's go out to
United Tree 18, contact SoCal approach.
Pomona. We're going to go to Pomona.